Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Shrisha from Trading Explained, and we are back with another episode of Podcast with Successful Traders. For this video, we have a Bank Nifty scalper trader as a guest for our podcast. His name is Mayur Pawar and he lives in Mumbai, and he has turned 10,000 rupees to 10 lakh rupees via scalping. He now trades with a capital that's north of 30 lakhs, and in this video we are going to go through his journey, ask him about the mistakes he did, try to learn from his mistakes and much more. So make sure to watch this video until the end, because we are also going to talk about trading psychology and the ways to learn it. So I bet there's a treasure in here. You don't want to miss this one out. So without any further ado, let's begin. Hi Mayur, welcome to the channel.
Hi,
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving us your time.
hi there. Hello, everyone.
So
Uh,
Mayur, I would like to hear
yes,
I would like to hear about your journey. So take us back a little bit and tell us about your journey.
okay. So my name is Mayur Pawar. As Shirisha gave the uh, extraordinary introduction that I met 10 lakhs from 10,000. It sounds lucrative, but it is not actually. So my journey started back in 2017-18. I was very curious to know how people used to save money. What were the
Right.
different methods? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I started reading on internet everywhere. Then I came to Quora, which was back famous before 2 years. It was very
Right.
famous.
Right.
People used to post a lot of questions. Then I started to read what is PPF. I was very interested there because PPF was full tax free. The benefit which
Right.
we get after 15 years for tax exemption. Then I
Right.
turned toward mutual funds. Then I thought,
Okay.
what is what are the big people doing? Then I
Right.
turned to investment in equity. Then when
Okay.
I started to learn that equity is much bigger segment than mutual funds. The
Right.
biggies hold actual stakes in equity, the dividends and the share split and all everything.
Right.
Then I got introduced to the new concept, intraday trading, the most dangerous
Ah.
and the most toughest one in the world. So from there, saving money to intraday trading. Post this 2 year after COVID, everyone has gone through it because
Right.
everyone was sitting at home. How to save money? So
Right.
what is the easiest way? If everyone wants shortcut. What's the easiest way?
Absolutely.
Intraday. What is the
Okay.
time required? 6 hours. Six
Right.
hours make take one trade and make some money
Right.
like that. So this is how I got introduced to trading.
Right. Okay. Okay. Great. But you pointed out a point that people now want shortcuts. Everyone wants to
Yes,
make quick
everybody wants
bucks.
shortcut. You go everywhere. Everybody
That is so
wants shortcut.
relatable.
Yeah,
That is so relatable.
because
That is so
everybody
true.
thinks it's a lottery ticket. You just have to
Right.
take one trade, and
Hmm. Hmm.
that mentality, na, that I will get an extra 5,000, 10,000
Apart from my salary, yes.
apart from the salary. Yes, exactly.
Hmm. Hmm. So, all right. So now, can you tell us about your initial trading struggles and how did you overcome it?
So after I uh, got to know about intraday trading, I started reading how actually this trading works. Back
Okay.
then, I didn't know anything. Like everybody, oh, RSI, it's 40 buy, 80 sell, like this. Everything I tried.
Right.
Then I got to know there are some services which
Mm-hmm.
provide calls. Okay.
Hmm.
Then like everyone, okay, this I will take this back. They gave me this much accuracy, 90%. Then I made a sheet where I actually calculated my profit before trading itself.
Right. So
Everyone
Excel,
does this.
Excel
Everyone,
profits,
believe me.
Excel profits.
Yes, Excel profits. Then
Right.
again, I tried like everyone. I tried. I want to taste the waters. Okay,
Right.
and at the end of day, like everyone, I got the result what everyone got.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
they give, they have a scheme. Like for 10 people, they will give 5 buy, 5 sell. So
Right.
the right side would again subscribe themselves. Okay, then again out of 5, they will give half of like this, and they will make their profit. Because if actually they were so much accurate, then why would they sell their strategy, right? Just tell me,
Very
if you
valid
know
point. Yeah.
something, yeah,
Very
if
legit
you
point.
know something and it's working, why would you sell? Because
Absolutely.
if you know you can scale it, then you would make like crores.
Right.
Okay. Then after taking these services, then I started reading, learning what is RSI, when it will work, what is MACD, what is everything in indicator side. Then I
Right.
introduced to future and options. That future contract is different, option is different. Options are a way different products.
Right. Right.
Then again, after reading like everyone, okay, I understood this. I used to sit at night. I understood this about this indicator. I used to try. I used to fail. I did this whole for 1 to 2 years. Means like that Corona fall. I was like,
Right.
okay, it is the gap down, gap up. I don't know that what's the value of gap down. Now I am knowing that Nifty was at 7,600. I should have sold my house and bought the Nifty base or stocks. That
Right.
was kind of opportunity it was once in a
Right.
lifetime.
Hmm.
After that Corona fall, there was a consolidation of like 2 3 months till August. Then I got to know from Twitter one mentor. I used to follow Twitter a lot.
Okay.
There were many mentors. Then I
Right.
don't trust easily after subscribing so much services. Then I
Right.
followed one guy. I tracked him 2 3 months. I used to
Okay.
just message him and ask what's the price going on. My capital is this and so and so. He used to politely answer me back. Then once I subscribed him, and everything changed. Like he showed me how to look at markets. He didn't teach me like take here entry, take there entry. He taught me how
Right.
to look at markets. What are the market dynamics?
Right.
See, trading is like simply driving a car in a road. Not every
Right.
day would be same. Every day
Right.
traffic would be different. The mood of the drivers would be different. The
Right.
weather would be different. Your
Right.
car condition would be different. Same happens in trading. When you sit, what goes in your mind, everything defines a trader. Okay. So
Hmm.
this is how
Hmm.
I found a mentor.
Right.
Then I started trading whole differently, like very different.
On a
Then
complete different level.
yeah, then I slowly started making profits. And
Right.
then there, as you know, everyone has a honeymoon period, and I also have gone through it. So
Right.
that honeymoon period was like from October. I just started a account 10,000, and there was a
Okay.
leverage. Openly, I'm
Okay.
telling 10,000 leverage 4x. I used to get 40,000.
Right.
So actually, I was trading 40,000. I was trading 4 times the risk.
Right.
At that time, is what it was all of out of excitement.
Right.
Then what happened? October, September, October. Yeah, it went out a very good month. From 10,000, I went to like 80,000 or 90,000 in a month.
Okay.
Then slowly, that I think budget day came. Nirmala Sitaraman.
Right.
Okay, that was everyone's biggest profit day, right? Like for
Right.
option buy. I
Right.
was reverse. Before that, before that day only, I guess I made like around 9 to 10 lakhs overall profit, not one day profit.
Got it.
But at that day, after second day, when there was a
Mm-hmm.
huge gap up, all
Mm-hmm.
options went like 700 to 900 at the money, which started
Mm-hmm.
trading at 200 rupees.
Right.
And I used to trade, you don't believe, like 2000 quantity, 3000 quantity in bank nifty. I'm a bank nifty player. So at
Right.
that time, I didn't
Huge
know that
quantities.
risk, how to handle risk. I just spent
Mm-hmm.
2K quantities, and the
Right.
option went suddenly 200 point down. I was like minus 2 lakhs. I closed the
Right.
trade and I started thinking, what did I do wrong? And again, that same option that where I took entry, it went in a fraction of second above 200 points. Then
Oh.
understood the part of volatility.
Right.
Earlier
Crazy
also,
volatility.
I was also knowing how volatility comes and goes. But this time I got to learn how the big in the money options behave.
Right.
Everybody trades OTM. I strictly trade in the money and at the money. At the money only on Fridays because
Yeah,
for
because
option
of the
buyer
premiums. Yes, because of the premiums.
premiums. Yeah, I
Right.
never trade OTMs. Never.
Right. Right.
This is
So,
how I overcome that honeymoon period and lowered my quantity and started trading decent.
right. Okay. So, did you face any other struggles like I did in my learning phase, like that I did not used to trade properly. I used to take a lot of random trades. I used to just
Yes, yes,
punch
yes.
whatever I
Everything,
thought I.
everything.
So
For
can you
example, Ari,
can you
this option,
specify
yes,
on
yes.
those
I'll
things?
tell you.
Yes.
For example, this Ukraine thing came. Okay,
Okay.
market fell like anything. Now, what a
Mm-hmm.
retail will think. Or the call options are going so down. It will bounce sometimes. Some good news will come. They will keep on averaging. They will
Mm-hmm.
buy call. Okay, 200 call. Okay, it went to 150. Let's buy more. But they don't understand the probability pattern that when VIX is so much high,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the VIX works on actually the demand and supply of the options. If there
Right.
is sudden demand in far OTMs, then seller will come and then VIX will rise. Okay.
Right.
VIX handling is very different. So like everyone, you will now, for example, you have only 50,000 capital.
Mm-hmm.
You can't buy an option more than 200 rupees. If you want
Right.
to buy a certain defined quantities, you will
Right.
buy that. But if that option is 1,000 point away, just think in terms of probability. What is the probability given that some big news will come, that 1,000 points will come, and that option will affect, and you would exit in profits
Right. The
because
probability is
this
very less.
market has become so smart that the
Right.
option buyer gain it gives in the first gap up only, and at the first tick itself, sell off comes, and you won't go. And when you see
Right.
the red candle, your psychology changes that some bounce will come, I will exit. Some bounce
Right.
will come, and this hope trading kills the
Mm.
90% retailers. That hope
Mm.
trading, I tell you the word. When you are seeing the loss, cut the loss. If you are confident enough that bounce will come, take the re-entry. Get it at
Right.
discount price. Na? There is
Right.
always the price at discount. And every time
Mm. Mm.
remember, you can't catch lows, bottoms, first of all. And there is always a better entry and better exit. I have learned this very harsh way.
Mm. Mm. That's very true. Right. So, can you specify a bit more about this hope trading thing? Because this is a major problem for most of the people. Like how
See,
to cut those
hope trading
losses.
simply comes because of low capital. When you
Right.
know you have a low capital, then take single lot, two lot. Why you want to take 10 lots and 20 lots? And
Right.
for example, if your capital is 50,000 and you are risking taking 500 quantity in bank nifty, if someone knows about word ATR or like
Right.
moving average,
Right.
okay. So if an option is far away from any moving average, just assume.
Mm-hmm.
Why you
Mm-hmm.
want to take it at top? Just wait for this 10-20 point retracement.
Right.
Okay, option. If you know, simply I will give you one strategy. Everyone
Okay.
knows that when you take an entry and you put SL, your SL is going to hit. Definitely, you know. Then instead
That
of that
happens
SL,
every time.
place your entry at your stop loss simply and move
Right.
down your stop
Okay.
loss further down. Market
Right.
can you trick you once, but it won't trick you twice, na? Because if it comes down at if you take entry at 90
Right.
and if it comes down to 80, then you know you have second lot there. Your average
Right.
comes to 85. But don't
Right.
go beyond that.
Right.
Okay, this is the law of averaging.
Right.
If you had like 10 lot player and if you buy at every 10 point dip one lot, you won't survive. It's not a strategy.
Right. Right. So
So
it's not
hope
about
trading
blind
basically
averaging.
comes from low capital. Yeah.
Right. Hmm. 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 Got it.
So if you have one lot, sorry, 50,000 capital, trade one lot. There would be never hope trading. I will tell you for sure.
Hmm.
But current
But
condition,
right.
50,000 is also less. I will tell. You need minimum 1 lakh because VIX
The
is high.
kind, yes, the kind of
Yeah.
volatility that's going on.
No, the kind of premium. Volatility is next question. What will you buy? The 500 rupees option. Just say
Absolutely, the premiums are very high.
10% change in premium will give you 50 points.
Right.
So you can't handle so much volatility.
Right. So basically, the key is to keep your quantities low when you're low on capital. Uh,
Yeah.
Another thing is not to go with heavy OTMs because they will eventually result in loss. And the third thing is how to keep those losses small. You talked about keeping those losses small. You talked about keeping those, cutting out those losses when you see what's going on, when you see the candle is going red, when you see it's going against you. What do you think is the major psychological reason we keep holding on to that trade, and how do you think we can counter it? What do you think are the emotions that come into play, or what basically is the solution to cut losses small? Because that is where majority of the people are losing money. Like they know what to do, they even do it, they eventually uh, try to do it, but when it goes against them, that is where they kind of get panicked and they do not exit their positions and all the shit goes wrong there. So how to cut those losses small? Like what according to you is the magic formula over there?
So there are, okay, we will split this into different parts. First,
Okay.
if you have simple understanding of price action, price
Right.
moves in one pattern, like
Right.
simply Dow theory, higher high, higher lows. So
Right.
market works in structure. If
Okay.
you if you are a price action player, you follow structure. If you
Right.
are an indicator player, like moving average, RSI,
Mm-hmm.
or say pivots
Okay.
where for example, your price, you're in a trade where you have bought some call option. Now the
Okay.
price is hitting some R1 or R2. It's not the time to think or something. Just book your half quantity because everyone has different system. Some
Right.
big institution would have a system where they would short at R1 bank Nifty. If
Right.
an institution is shorting at R1, then they are the market makers. What is meant by market makers? Means they have huge liquidity. Like their market sell would change the direction for temporary, not maybe for whole day, but for
Right.
temporary.
Right.
So now just imagine you are in a Thursday expiry. In Thursday
Hmm.
expiry, options only work in trend once a time. Second time
Right.
it don't behave like same. Okay,
Right.
after certain pullback, it would make a
Right.
high, but second, third time it doesn't make that same high because the decay
Right.
factors come in. Okay,
Right. Hit early.
so in expiry, if the bank nifty is hitting at one, simply book na. That is the second part. Okay,
Right.
but if you keep hope trading, R1 is break. If you are following 5 minutes, 15 minutes, you saw green candle breaking R1, but you didn't give more importance to the after that candle, like two red candles are coming and you are keeping in hope that it will go up. That is
Right.
your mistake.
Hmm.
You should
Hmm.
have booked
Hmm.
half at least. Okay, why
Right.
I would take book half? Because when you take entry at 100 and you are booking at something like 150, that
Okay.
50 points was your initial. If your stop loss was 50 rupees, and so your trade becomes risk free.
Right.
That is the most part. You have to make your trade risk free because
Hmm.
trading is a negative sum game.
Hmm. Hmm.
Everyone, no one makes more money, but everyone loses more money because we pay transaction tax, GST, then STT,
Brokerage is there.
everything to
Yes.
government. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
originally money is going out of market.
Hmm. Hmm.
If we other side is making money, they also have to pay the taxes.
Yes.
So that's
So,
why you have to best possibly make the trade risk free.
so
And
yes, basically,
someone takes trailing stop loss. So stick to one thing and treat it like God.
right.
I follow means my system is built in a such a way. First, I will calculate my stop loss. As soon as I take my entry, my SL will be in the system. Then let
Right.
market do whatever it wants. Take my
Right.
SL,
So
don't take my SL. It doesn't matter.
your risk is very much different that way.
Yes.
Right.
Everything
So
we can do is we can only manage risk. Nothing can be done much.
Right. I read your Twitter profile, and there you say that risk is the only controllable thing by us in the market. So manage your risk.
Yes, yes.
And that's very
You
true.
can't do anything. Even I tell you, like NSE server went down, what you will be doing? We can't do
Right.
anything. You will do only one thing. You will call broker. Then there will be a half hour waiting time. In that market
Right.
will move so much. Because I myself have experienced this everything.
Right. Right. So you gave us an example where you told us he book half of your quantities and make your trade essentially a risk-free trade, because then emotions do not come into play when you know the risk is not there. That is basically the logic of that thing. But what if I take a trade and that instantly starts to go against me? What should I do? What should the steps to cut down the
Then
losses
then
then?
under then understand that we are a late player in that trend. Most of the
Right,
times we look at the trend at very late stage. There
right.
are mostly three stages in the trend. Okay, first is the initiation.
Mm-hmm.
Second is called maturing of the trend, and third
Okay,
is called blooming of the trend.
okay,
Where initiation most of the times intraday trend fails at first stage only. For example, buyer has came, RSI divergence came, buyer makes an attempt, but the trend doesn't mature. It
right,
fails, and this selling continues. Second
right,
is after maturing, the higher time frame seller will come and it doesn't let the trend bloom. The third stage,
right.
where you know that big candles come 100 point, 200
Yes,
point,
yes, yes.
that point you know you have to book and exit everything.
Hmm.
So
So if
something
I,
I will tell you one thing. Okay,
yeah.
you can relate it very nicely. Bank Nifty sometimes go in huge compression
Hmm.
from like 9:32 from 10 o'clock till 1:32 p.m. Then after
Okay.
2 p.m. sometimes there comes a huge rally till 3:30.
Right.
So in all, what happened? So the consolidation was simply initiation.
Hmm.
After 2 p.m., when the breakout came, the trend matured. It gave constant green candles. Okay.
Right.
If price action trader knows, he will follow the candle close and high and low everything. He would
Mm-hmm.
understand trend has came. He would exit when everyone understood, trend has came. Now we have to exit.
Right.
Okay. Means the actual good trader will exit a trend at blooming side, but the retail would enter at the blooming phase because at that time indicators give buy. That is the worst part.
Ah, yes.
Every
Yes.
indicator gives your buy signal at the end of second stage or start of third stage or end of third stage. You means if you I practice charts daily after market.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I reiterate myself. Okay, this could have been a better entry. This could have been better exit. My thinking was wrong, so I should not do this tomorrow. I
Hmm.
practice like
Hmm.
2-3 hours. I never give
Right.
up.
Hmm. Hmm.
Practice is everything.
Right. So
So
basically
there
the
is lot of
problem
things.
problem
Yeah.
is basically that we are entering late in the trend, and that is the reason that most of the times we enter and the market starts moving against us. And if we
Yes,
understand
because
this,
biggies
that
are
we are
selling.
entering late, or understanding the structure of the market, that okay, now I have to get out, and get out means literally get out. The moment we understand this, that is when it's going to make a difference.
Yeah. First, you simply a good. If a retail wants to become a good trader, na, simply
Mm-hmm.
understand we can be wrong at every setup. So instead of focusing, we can be right. Just focus, we can be wrong. Where we can be wrong, that is your stop loss, and just follow this two part. Your accuracy will increase by 50%. Just focus on stop loss part. Then,
Right,
after
right,
you understood how to handle risk, then comes how to exit. People first
right.
think you take entry and where to exit. They just keep looking at exit, but they forget to look at SL, stop loss.
Right, right. Yes. People start calculating profits the moment they enter into a trade.
Yeah,
So,
and the major problem what our Indians have got the attitude. We
mm-hmm.
don't take blame on ourselves. We mostly take that he has done something wrong. So we blame the operators, the word
Right,
operators. It is not the operators actually.
right.
We just want to blame someone, and we
So
blame that
true.
operators hit our stop loss.
So true. I have actually made a video on this topic, how to lose small. And in that video, I have talked about a negation point thing, wherein you have to know your entry and your exit points. Because if you're entering at something, you must know where your exit is even before you take an entry, because if you do not know where your exit is, you're going to suffer. So that is basically what you're trying to say, that know your exits and get out when the exits are there.
Yes, very true.
Got it. Got it. So now you are a scalper, Mayur. So tell us a little bit
Yes.
about scalping, how it's done, and is it really consistent? Can one rely upon its consistency?
See, first of all, my basic motive behind scalping was to gather a capital. I know that I have to do bank nifty.
Right.
I learned nifty also, but my personality is more suiting to myself to bank nifty because it's
Right.
volatile in nature. Okay.
Right.
Nifty is very mature in that sense.
Hmm.
So I wanted to build up a capital where I can start option selling in a trend following in a higher time frame, not intraday,
Right.
because I
Swing
wanted to
trading.
do piece trading. Okay. For example, back then 10 lakh capital was 40 lakhs, but now as leverage has gone, my time period again got increased because I require at least 50 lakhs to 1 CR for a proper option selling.
Right.
Like you just take 1 to 2 trade in a whole one expiry, and you just have to keep riding it,
Right.
because then only as we shift from scalping to trend trading, then only we can become a good trader. Okay. This was my
Right.
motive behind become a scalper. Then my
Right.
question was, I have to risk limited and I have to take at least 2 to 3 times to 4 times my risk.
Right.
This was my second concept.
Okay.
So if now I started with 2 times I have did this. I started with 3 lakhs.
Mm-hmm.
Then I decided 3 lakhs. What is 1%?
3,000.
Like 3,000. Okay. So I decided I won't give more than 6 to 8,000 or 2% stop loss. Then I
Okay.
divided it by quantity. Like I'm back then was ATM was trading at 200, 300 rupees, right?
Right.
So in short, just assume 8,000. If I take
Okay.
500 quantities, I can take a 16-point stop loss. Simple
Mm-hmm.
mathematics.
Right. Right.
So now I know that 200 rupees option can move in a range of like plus 50 points, minus 50 points. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I what I used to do was I used to take only 8 points stop loss, but my risk was like 30, 40. Target was 30,
Reward.
40 points.
Right.
Yeah, reward.
Right.
So my entry, I discovered that my risk is small as I
Hmm.
have to build this capital. So I started developing systems, different system, n number of systems. Means you won't imagine. I have tried everything,
Okay.
even 20 AMA to 50 AMA. Then slowly, first I was a breakout player. Okay, the I used to find certain pinpoint points where seller would have a pain. Option buyer only wins when seller are in panic. I used to
Ah.
find uh, pressure points like above this high or about this low that market can rally, and I used to
Right.
take breakout trade. After exact after my entry, the option used to run by 40, 50 points easily, and I
Right.
used to get that back then there was cover order, right? So placing
Right.
stop loss was easy. So
Hmm.
most of times my trade used to go correct. Then I asked my mentor that even though I am taking proper entries, precise like sniper entries, I am not able to hold it. What is wrong with my psychology? He used to tell
Hmm.
me that you are looking at profits. You are too much concerned about profits. Let it ride.
Ah. Right.
What will happen? It will hit your stop loss, right?
Right.
Then I understood. Then slowly, after Bank Nifty evolved a lot. Like in 2000, I am talking about 18, 19, 20. Breakout used to work very fine because now, what was the intraday pattern? Some trend used to come, then used to come consolidation. Okay. In that consolidation, the small capital retail seller, option seller used to get trapped. And after a
Right.
certain point, you would place a stop loss about this high, that high, or about
Right.
20 EMA, 50 EMA. Okay. I used to just work on that systems. Then I used to take their entry and eventually I used to get profit.
Right. So
So
you used to identify the panic points of an option seller.
yes, yes,
Hmm. Hmm.
panic points were very important.
Right.
But then
So
what happened now after 2020? that the bank nifty has evolved a lot. Most of the breakout fails.
Right.
So totally I used to place entry points, and option was to means same thing happened with me, that operator thing. Even though option chart, the high used not to get printed, okay, then also my trade used to get triggered. I used to think why that option
Hmm.
price is not printed on the chart, but my entry got triggered. Then I understood that thing, that how a small algos of the market works, where common points first get hits, they are stopped out of the market, then the actual rally comes.
Hmm.
Then I became a
Hmm.
pullback
Right.
trader, and currently now I'm a pullback trader. Means I know after breakout where it will go to retest, where it can go. So my stop loss is like 10 points. You won't imagine, I even worked with 5 point stop loss in bank nifty. No one believes me, but it has happened.
Right. Uh, that's
But
very
the
that's very difficult to handle,
very
in my opinion. Like a stop loss of 5 points, 10 points, isn't it? Or is it easy?
yes,
What's your
yes.
opinion on that?
No, it's very difficult because the probability of hitting your stop loss is like 80%.
Hmm.
But the game
Hmm.
is how you make the probability on your side. That's
Right.
that's the hard work.
Right. So you have to be
You
very
know,
precise with your entry point, because if you're wrong, then you are most probably going to hit the stop loss, as you said. So you have to be very precise with
yeah,
where you are entering.
yes. I would tell you one thing. Now, if someone listens to our podcast, okay, even on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, everybody will mock us. No one will believe.
Right.
I can openly challenge that. Come and sit with me. I will show you how I do trading with even 5 to 10 point stop loss. That too, even with 1,000 quantities.
Right. Yes. Now you
And
have a
1,000
big
quantities are
capital, so
not
now
joke.
you punch. Yes. Now you punch bigger quantities, obviously. Yes. So.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
but I manage my risk by one thing. I never use my whole capital. If say
yes.
even I am currently using like very safe side 10 lakh capital because of VIX has got high.
Yes.
I would only take
I
trade
was
of
actually
four.
going to come to that question. That how do you manage risk? So yes. Yes. You can go ahead with that.
Okay. So basically I have built one software as
Yeah.
brokers have closed cover order, which instantly places stop loss order as I may take entry. And with defined stop loss like 10 points, 5 points. Okay.
Okay.
So even if my capital is 30 lakhs, I don't trade full 30 lakhs because I trade only 4 to 5 lakhs. Because even
Right.
if NSE shut down, server goes down, my
Right.
broker gets hanged. I don't get to exit position. I don't lose my capital because there
Hmm.
is every another day to trade. Every time,
Right.
remember, there is every
Hmm.
single day means there is tomorrow. Always there is always a tomorrow to trade. Okay,
Hmm. This is
and
golden nuggets,
and the
man.
most,
Right.
yeah, and one most important thing what I want to say is that when a trade is done, it's done. It's passed. You can't change it. The order are punched. The NSE won't give you that opportunity to trade it back again. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
don't be in a dilemma that, oh, that trade could have been so good. I should have taken that exit. Then write it
Hmm.
down. Do it next time. Na? While
Right.
market is currently live, just stick to the price action or the whatever you're doing. Don't
Right.
live in the past trades.
Ah,
This I
this is so
learned.
important. Yes,
This is very important
this is very important.
because yeah, my mentor has taught me this really well. If you
Right.
live in past, you will never make those big profits. And
Right.
you won't believe I'm a very bad at trend following. Now I have
Right.
started doing it in decent way. But back then when I was scalper, I had such a precise mindset that even bank nifty go 1,000 points now, I won't feel bad because my system told me exit here, it's done. Why to worry so much about that profit which I won't able to make?
Right. Right.
What if the option would have reversed? Most of the
Hmm.
times happen when I book option reverses from there.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's you never know the future, right? Just follow
Hmm.
the system.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, talking about the risk again, coming to the
Yeah.
factor of risk again, what do you think a retail trader should approach the markets, and how do you think his, the kind of risk that is getting involved into markets? how should he look into all of this? How should he approach markets in a way that he's not losing too much? Also, because most of the people that are watching our podcasts are learners at this point. They are not consistent traders, and I understand that. And for them to get into markets in kind of a risk-free way, I cannot say risk-free way, but in a minimal risk way, how can they start trading, or how can they actually get consistent trading without taking much of a risk? Can you put a bit of pressure on
Okay.
that one?
Okay. Uh, let's do it in part wise. Your first question was how can retailer trade? Okay.
Right,
Basically, currently retail shouldn't trade because of VIX, I will tell. Because
right,
the premiums are high, so high
right,
capital would be required. So
right,
the swing would be high.
right,
So the stop loss management would be very large. And
right,
retail is, as a new trader, is not ready to digest big loss.
right.
Okay. And secondly, if you want to become trader, first tell your family, convince it. My family full supported me. Okay, that is very emotionally required for a trader
Hmm.
because someone
Hmm.
should believe in you. Then only you will start believing yourself.
Hmm. Hmm. That's true.
So first tell your family. Then you should have someone other than yourself earning in a family, so that if even if you don't provide something, your family remains financially stable. Second,
Right, right.
okay. If these two things are met now, I think 50-60% problem is solved because uh, it requires a mental state to proper mental state of peace to do a trading. If you have family
Hmm.
issues, financial issues now, you will get a pressure. Like I am sitting on 9:15, market starts, I have to make money. That would be the
Right,
first thing in your mind. And
right.
assume that you are just gonna make loss because you are trading for money.
Hmm.
Money should be not your first priority. Your first
Right,
priority should be managing risk. Take good probability trades. It's the game of probability. Everyone knows.
right. Hmm.
Every
Hmm.
buyer wins, every buyer fails, every seller wins, every seller fails. You have
Right.
to just manage it well.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the retail should now, I think, because from COVID, lot of people have entered the market
Yes,
for that
exactly.
second side income kick.
Yes, yes,
And the
yes,
market is
absolutely.
one way, so everyone thinks, "Arey, market will bounce someday."
Hmm.
Like, okay.
Hmm. Yes,
So
because
now,
after
unless
COVID,
and
the kind
unless
of
this,
recovery markets have showed, everyone thinks that markets have to go only one way and that's up.
one, no, no,
They
no, no, that's not the major point. The major, my point is, everyone is sitting as home, sitting at
hmm.
home. No one has got to do anything, right? Everyone was idle. So what
Right.
to do? Watch TV, Z
Let's
Business,
start
80
trading.
Life, everything,
Right.
and do the trading and get the extra money.
Right.
Now,
Right.
because I'm telling this, even I go at medical shop, everyone is talking like Bank Nifty fallen 1,000 points. I was telling myself that yes, this is the correct time. Market is now giving a correction because now
Right.
everyone is talking about markets.
Right. Absolutely.
Even if it is financial literacy, if we tell that India has become financially literate, but still market will test the patience.
Hmm. Hmm.
It always tests the patience. It doesn't give easy
Absolutely.
money.
Absolutely. Right.
Okay.
I
Then what
personally
was the
have
last
observed
part
this
of the
thing.
question?
Yes. So
Yeah.
the thing is, I was asking about the risk that a retailer, how can a retailer manages risk? Because to the watchers who are watching this video later on, right now, the time we are recording this video, there's a crisis going on between Russia, Ukraine, US, and the world. So yes, therefore the VIX is high, therefore the premiums are high, therefore the markets are volatile, and hence this conversation about why a retail trader should not get into markets right now. But everything will settle down after one point, hopefully. And at that point where everything is normal, how do you think a retail should approach markets with minimum
Okay.
risk
Now
factor?
this is the
So,
best opportunity I can tell. Okay. What
mm-hmm,
a simple retail can do. Just if, as I told, the family point and the financial stable point, if these
right,
things are met now, just sit in the markets live, take a paper and like write down. I have got 5 systems. Okay. Simple
right,
thing work. I will tell like write 20 AMA. If
Okay.
market comes at 20 EMA, I will buy. If the market is trending upside, or if
Mm-hmm.
it's trending downside, I will sell at 20 EMA or say 50 EMA.
Okay.
Now, how will you increase the probability of your trade?
Okay.
Now, you can switch to time frames like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 3 minutes,
Okay.
15 minutes. Now, if you are a moving average player, try to find the confluence between two. Like if 3 minutes 20 EMA is aligning with 15 minutes 20 EMA, both are sloping downwards. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now there comes your hard work, that you are taking obvious entry, low of a candle or some pullback. There comes your developing of edge. Okay, I
Right.
have myself have done like this. Okay, you have to sit, watch the markets, write it down. That how would you take entry? Would you take a pullback entry, breakout entry? Pullback entry works when the uh, market's momentum is started fading away. Okay,
Right. Right.
and
So when
breakout
it's
sustains when there is huge strength.
huge
So
strength.
you have to
Right.
analyze. Okay, currently the strength is so much that candle size is there, volume is there, previous day low is
Hmm.
broken. Okay, selling is huge. If
Right.
you are analyzing open interest, okay, something is happening in open interest, then sell at the low of candle. Why to wait for pullback? Because it's not gonna come. But
Hmm.
okay, it's in previous days range only. But the trend is coming. So I think pullback can come because there is a small time frame moving average, or say pivot pivot line is there, pivot S1, small bounce can come. Then I will say this is how you
Hmm.
increase your probability, and this is how systems are developed. And once your system is developed, try 2, 3 different systems. Then as wicks settle down, then you can start trading with
Hmm.
one lot. Okay.
Right.
Because if you can handle the high wicks, you can easily handle low wicks. But also
Right.
remember, in low wicks, movement is very less. Like back then when I started, Bank Nifty only used to give 100 point or 200 point spike in a day. Remember,
Oh,
it was
so
very struggle for an option buyer, even though
so
for
that
seller.
that was it. That was the Bank Nifty's range you're talking.
Yeah, because if future is moving 100 point, option will only move 50 point. Out of 50 point, above last 10 point and first 10 point I couldn't catch. I can only make 20, 30 points. That's why he
Right.
became scalper, because the market is giving so much small opportunities. Then how
Right.
can I leverage myself to encash that opportunity? If I am
Right.
only gonna get that 30 points, then let's keep small SL. I will increase my quantity and I will scalp.
Right.
That's why the habit came of becoming a scalper.
Right. Right. So
So
basically, to
currently
keep
retail
your
has
risk
to,
less is to understand the technicals well, is to understand systems well, is to understand how the markets work, and then try to
no,
execute it
simply
on
I
smaller
will tell.
quantities.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but simply
No
I will
problem.
tell, watch the charts and practice.
Right.
Practice and practice. Even though today
Mm-hmm.
my wife scolds me, my mother scolds me, but at least 1 to 2 hours I keep watching charts. What could have been done? How could I
Right.
improve? And
Right.
why I went wrong? What I missed it out? I
Hmm.
never leave the practice any single day.
Right. Right. Got it. So practice makes man perfect is the formula.
Yeah, yeah. And okay, sorry, one thing I forgot to tell you. The
Mm-hmm.
basic rule of an intraday trader is, first you need to find a trend. So
Hmm.
currently retailer, what can he do is just practice how to find a trend. If he can do that well, na, half job is done.
Right.
So first you
Right.
need to find a trend. What is actually market doing?
Hmm. Trend you mean by what the market is doing on that particular day, right?
Yeah,
Or
I'm
the
talking
overall like the
specifically this
major
about
trend?
intraday.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
because the
Trend.
positionally positional is currently very difficult.
Right. Right.
Even like 2000 point pullback, no one can digest.
Right. No. Right. So to figure out where the market can head in this 6 hour time frame is important.
Yes, yes. Means you
Hmm.
have, we can't say it's a prediction. The better word is anticipation. You have to just anticipate that this can happen and align with market and take trade in that anticipation. Okay, that you
Right,
will
right.
think that okay, market is sustaining, looking like it's sustaining here. It is making lower lows. It is
Mm-hmm.
not making. It is making lower lows, but the difference between two lows is very less. Okay, means the sellers are losing their steam like this.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if the
Hmm.
sellers are losing their steam, means buyer have came. If buyer have came, means the buying trend can emerge. Okay, then if buying trend is going to emerge, where can I buy? Where the first
Right,
higher high or something like moving average will turn. Then if the buyers will come, then there will be a moving average crossover. Then
right,
I can buy at the pullback of moving average, or I can buy the breakout, or I can buy the breakdown. These
right,
are the things a retail can currently learn. Very, this is a very good opportunity.
right. So it is not only about indicators, it is more about understanding the market dynamics.
Yes,
Hmm.
it's.
Hmm.
I will tell you one simple thing. Market only works that is supply and demand. It is
Hmm.
very easy to say, but very hard to understand
Right.
because it's not like 10,000 contract has been sold, supply has came. It's not like that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Right.
one will say, okay, supply and demand mean only volume. Yes, you
Hmm.
can do
Hmm.
volume, but you have to add confluence. The more you start adding confluence, the more your probability increases.
Right.
You have to just
Right.
find the probability confluences of a lot of things.
Right. Very well, right. Very well put. So yes, I was saying that I have observed this thing that post-COVID, people have seen how the markets have recovered overall. And then I have observed few people try to replicate the same thing in intraday, that they think the markets will only go up no matter what. So people keep holding on to those positions in anticipation that market will recover no matter what. And this is where the mistakes have been happening. So yes, I
Yes.
observed this thing and was I would just wanted to share it with you.
This is
So
actually
now,
true, but
yeah,
they don't understand the difference of time frame. Market will
exactly,
rebound. I will tell. I will, but you have to have you patience. Do you have the patience to buy at now current price?
right,
Say something is like 16,500. Do you have patience to hold for 2 years?
right.
Then you're gonna be profit. They
So
think that
that is
market will bounce in intraday trading.
that is
That is
also okay.
wrong.
Yes, the intraday thing. Yes, the intraday thing. People expect that markets will go up today itself, and all those hope trading things come into play.
Every day market have different moods. Just write
Exactly.
this line. I will tell. Every day market have different mood.
Absolutely. So now we are going to head into the psychology of markets. So what do you think is the best way to learn psychology? Because eventually, even I have learned that without understanding the market psychology, it's impossible to be profitable, consistently profitable in markets. So what do you think is the best way to learn the psychology of markets?
Okay. First psychology I will tell.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has got FOMO. Okay. FOMO.
Right.
I think you also would have gone through it. What is FOMO? FOMO
Yes.
is
The
simply fear of missing out. That
fear of missing out. Right.
you won't able to participate in that trend.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
have missed actually thousand pointer trade in bank nifty, but I don't get FOMO. I have set myself like that. My emotions are so normal now that Nirmala Sitharaman candle, 20, in
Right.
September back then, that 20%, 25% rate cut,
Right.
that something news was there.
Right.
Market
Right.
went insane. Okay. And actually on that day I was on loss. Why? Because I couldn't calculate my entry. Just I put a random entry as everybody. Market went down. I panicked. I exit, and from that point market went up. I could have hold, right?
Hmm.
So
Right.
that was FOMO. And second is fear of execution. Fear of execution means once you know your system,
Mm-hmm.
you fear that should I take entry or not? Will come there or not? If it
Right.
comes, what is the probability I would be right? Okay.
Okay.
Fear of execution comes when someone doesn't trust himself.
Mm-hmm.
I trust myself blindly. I punch like you tell me to punch 5K, 10K quantity in bank nifty. I will punch like that only because I know my risk. Okay. Even though
Right.
risk is 10 point, I can punch 5,000 quantities, but I don't. I only
Right.
trade currently 1,000 quantities because VIX is high. So the
Right.
fear of execution only goes by practicing. You
Right.
have to
Okay.
practice it like hell. Just assume that after taking entry, just put stop loss and leave everything to markets. Then only that fear of execution will go. And most of the time, fear of execution comes because you want to be right every time.
Right.
This is
Absolutely.
the basic part. You want to be right every goddamn trade. You think I want profit from this trade. You
Right.
don't think in terms of probability.
Right.
That that moment you start thinking of probability, okay, this is my entry. I can be wrong 100%. Just let's put stop loss here because if my stop loss get hits, and what if market goes down more 50 points and it doesn't recover back? I would get
Hmm.
more big loss.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So that is how you remove the fear of execution.
Right.
And
Right.
the FOMO thing is you can never catch the whole rally. Okay. And
Hmm.
second is you can't never catch the rallies first 10% and the last 10% uh,
Right.
in a single trade. Okay.
Right.
Because if you are doing so, I guess you are then God. Or second, lucky because you can't replicate it every day. I
Or
would
third,
trade
a
most of the
liar.
time. I myself get lucky. Yes. For example, that when the trend emerges, if you
Mm-hmm.
take that at that time entry now, eventually in some time you would exit because you are in a good decent profit because you
Right.
don't know where it would be exit. But those who enter in a late phase now, they would try to sell at top. So either
Hmm.
way, they would try to catch one or the other thing, and they fail most of the times.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Let market do its thing. Na? You just follow your structure pattern. You just follow your stop loss. You just follow your trailing stop loss.
Right.
Someday you will get huge profit. Someday you will get huge loss. The,
Hmm.
the game comes when you have to restrict yourself from that huge loss. Okay, market give everyone uh, what what the saying is that every dog has its day,
Ah.
right? Same thing comes with a system trader. Every system has its day. Means for
Right.
example, some days my entries are so precise, not even 1 point market will go down. But someday I make loss as hell. Left,
Hmm.
right, stop loss it. Left, right,
Hmm.
every single trade.
Right.
You
Right.
won't believe. Sometimes it happens in morning half hour. I would lose 50, 60,000. But at the
Right.
end of the day, my MTM would go like 50,000, 70,000, 80,000, like
In positive.
in positive.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't
Yeah.
care how much loss I make. It just I went wrong there. Look at the second trade. Just take the entry.
Right. So
That
basically
is how you have to
trade on
rewire
the
your
merit.
brain. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Basically trade the merit of the trade. Don't look at the MTMs.
Yes. Yeah,
Just
that's the
like,
second part. Never look
yeah.
at the MTM. Now this is MTM thing is came in the picture because of I think Zerodha. In
Hmm.
Zerodha, you see your live what you say watch list. Okay. Apart
Mm-hmm.
from watch list on right hand side, there is our entries and exit, all that position, and below that is MTM, and that MTM is
Hmm.
currently fluctuating. I in the whole what when I'm in a trade, I never look at MTM. My only concern is whether my stop loss is hit or not, or my exit is come or not, is came or not, like that. I never
Hmm.
watch
Hmm.
MTM. Most of retailers, like from past few months, many people are like contacting me, chatting with me. They are asking me how to handle this. They only exit only one thing because they see the MTM going from positive to negative and they exit it. This is
Hmm.
the major
Hmm.
problem of retailer.
Right. So
Why
not
not
to
to watch
look at the
MTM? Just you
MTMs.
tell me one
Not
thing. Okay, Shirish.
right. Right.
Why to watch MTM?
Right. When we are trading the structure, what is the reason to watch? There's no absolutely no reason to watch the MTMs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
That then the saying comes, the common entry gives common profits. So
Hmm.
you have to be that
Right.
uncommon one.
Right. Right.
And
So,
in market, you have to always look at one thing. Everything will work and everything will fail.
hmm. Right. Right. So I will share you a problem of mine that I used to face a lot. Maybe people who are watching this are facing this at this point as well. That whenever I used to take a trade, let's say I punch a trade at 100, okay, it
Yeah.
goes to
Okay.
105. My initial stop loss was, let's say, 90. So after it went 105, I kept my stop loss to, let's say, 98. I trailed my stop loss. Then the markets used to come from 105 to 99. And before even it actually takes my stop loss at 98, I used to get out in anticipation that it's going to take my stop loss. And so many times it used to happen that it used to reverse from that 99 level. It never even used to take my stop loss. I used to be out for no reason. And then the trade goes and takes the target. So how to handle this thing? Because this, I guess this problem is something that many people are facing, that they are not following their own setup, they are not following their own levels, because if you do not follow your levels, your own levels, we cannot expect the market to give you the money, right? So how do you
Yes.
think one can target this particular thing? How can one improve on
Basically,
this segment?
I got your problem. Okay, I got your problem, and it is
Yes.
very valid. So what
Yeah.
you did here wrong was, why did you trade to 90? When we take a trade, we have
Hmm.
some assumptions. We have
Right.
some initial risk. Let that risk be for some time.
Right.
Unless
Okay.
that market gives you a one time risk, means it
Mm-hmm.
goes in your favor one time the risk. For example, you took the risk of 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
If you took what you said, you take entry at 100, stop loss is
Mm-hmm.
90, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unless that market goes to 110, 112,
Mm-hmm.
don't touch your stop loss, I will tell. Because
Mm-hmm.
market requires some space to move
Right.
everything. Every time remember this. And
Right.
this is only applicable for Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays. It's Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, because there is a bit of theta left in the option, okay?
Right. Right.
So there will be a cushion. There won't be much decay. So let
Right.
the initial risk be in the system. When
Right.
market starts moving in your favor by at
Mm-hmm.
least one risk or 1.5 risk, then you can reduce your risk to cost or at least half. Only after that you can start trading.
Right.
Until
Now,
that, market
but
is
that
just
this is still
validating your
okay.
setup.
This is still okay. But the point is that even if, let's say, even if the stop loss is at 90, okay, the point is the anticipation of the stop loss getting hit. That is the point, that even if I enter at 100 and let's say the stop loss is at 90 and let's say the market is now at 92. So what I used to do was, I used to do this mistake a lot. I used to exit at 92 in an anticipation that the markets are going to take the stop loss, because from 100 it came to 92, and now what's stopping it from going to 90? This was my basic assumption, that I can save my 2 points, instead of giving 10 I can give 8 points. And there I used to go wrong, that I used to exit at 92 instead of letting it take my stop loss, and the markets used to reverse from 92 and then used to go to 120, 130, and so on. So basically my problem was the anticipation of stop losses getting hit. That was the psychological issue I was facing. So how
No,
can one
I
improve on
actually I
that
will
front?
tell. Yeah, yeah, I would tell because I know you. So
Right.
for a stranger, I can tell this problem only comes when someone has a money pressure, financial
Right.
pressure,
Right.
because he want to lose less and make more. When
Right.
such pressure comes, everyone want to cut losses short. Even if he is right, he cut his loss very fast. Okay, because you have money pressure. Like
Right.
everyone wants money, okay, but
Right.
someone, like in some families, like he's not earning what you're
Mm-hmm.
sitting every day and doing, you're not making
Right.
money, okay, that pressure comes now. When that
Right.
pressure comes, you try to preserve the capital as much as possible. So even in your
Ah.
trade is correct now, even if you MTM looks like 10 points, 20 points, 50 points, you'll book it, and it
Hmm.
turns out to be that option went 200, 300 points.
Right. Right.
I will
Absolutely.
give you simple example. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
who is like hero 01, hero 0 expiry player,
Mm-hmm.
only 1 to 2 times that option will go from 0 to 100.
Absolutely.
But the game is, are you that much patient that every time you will hold that option and wait till 330 or 329, that opportunity would come? Because if you are that hero 0 expiry, even risk reward is good. Like I'm every day taking that 5 rupees option every expiry and hoping that 100 will come. You would be correct once, because the reward
Right.
will like 5 rupees stop loss, 100 rupees profit, or
Right.
let's say 50 rupees, 10 times, 20 times the risk. But when the trade actually runs in your favor,
Mm-hmm.
like say, what you will do, 5 rupees entry, even when it comes 20, 30, now you will book, saying that
Right.
let's encash this.
Right.
What if it fails from here? But your system has told you that exit only on 100, then why you are exiting before it?
Right,
Because you
right.
have money pressure.
So getting your point. So Mayur, next let's move on to the golden rules of trading. So what according to you are the three golden rules of trading that everyone must know and everyone must follow?
Okay. So golden rules according to me, I would tell practically. So before 9:15 a.m. starting of markets, first of all be
Hmm.
emotionless. Okay. Though all
Hmm.
your family worries, all stress, just keep it aside for 6 hours. No FOMO first of all. Market has gap up 1,000 points, no FOMO. Gap down 1,000 points, no FOMO. Okay. You have to just
Hmm.
follow the system. This is first rule.
Hmm.
Make
Hmm.
your mind like water. What the water does, you pour it in any vessel. This is the saying of Bruce Lee, and not myself. I have
Right.
copied everything because they are very valuable.
Right.
So be like water. You have to flow with the price action. I am a
Hmm.
price action player, and most of the big players would agree with me that price has a flow.
Hmm. Hmm.
We have to just be with that flow.
Right.
Okay. And now second would be stick to the process. Don't count profit before booking the gain. Most of the
Hmm.
players do that.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
I have took the entry, option will run 100 point multiplied by quantity. This is my profit. Be happy. Tell the family I had made so much money even before booking the game. Okay,
Right. Right.
correct. You can validate it very well,
Right.
and don't look at the MTM.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
this is
Hmm.
my second one, and third is very difficult. It took me some time, but it is very important. Try to be emotional less and never let your colleague or anyone surrounding yourself know that you are in profit or loss.
Hmm.
Okay, listen very carefully this, because if you can master this, then indirectly you would have become emotion free. If you can hide your profit and loss space from everyone, na, you have mastered yourself a some bit,
Right. So basically,
because
don't let your emotions.
your
Hmm.
thinking process starts changing. I never let my family know what I had done today in market, whether I was in profit or loss, because your uh, trading uh, tra- trading winnings or losses doesn't shouldn't affect your family, because
Right.
family is different and your professional
Right.
life is different. For
Right.
a
Do
trader,
yeah.
it's very
Obviously.
difficult to manage it because you sit
Right.
in a home and you have to
Hmm.
manage both.
Hmm. Yeah, because the family won't be able to digest. You are saying you lost 50,000 today. For
Uh,
you, that's very
uh,
normal thing. But your family would think, what this guy is doing, he's losing 50,000 a day. He should probably look for a job. That's what the thinking goes in
this is
family's
okay,
mind.
but when you make a profit and
Hmm.
second day you lose, you know you have not lost your money. Okay, you are
Right.
lost out of profit, but family won't understand it. Na? It would say,
Hmm.
"Arey, you lost so much. Why you're trading?" That this would be
Hmm.
first assumption there. Okay? And also remember, you can't become 100% emotion free. You have to just
Right.
become 60 to 70%.
Right. Right.
So these are my three practical rules. You have to do it every day.
Right. So these were more of
Means hacks.
psychological golden rules, I can say. Psychological hacks to
Yes.
trading, basically.
Yeah. Yes.
These are the points that
And
no one
be
talks about, man, because I have read so many books on trading. I have, also seen so many videos on trading, and they keep talking about the same things, that keep your losses small, keep your winners big, and all these things that just the so many common things are there. No one talks about these psychological things, that don't look at the MTMs or keep yourself emotions free. Don't let others know what you're doing in the market. These are so important points, but no one talks about it.
yes.
These are very very
It's
valid
just a
points.
basic how you handle yourself. Means,
Right.
trading is just reflection of your personality.
So heading towards our last question, this is a long podcast, I know, but what would your advice be to a newcomer, to a new trader?
Uh, First of all, try to do planning. Don't be random at things. Okay, planning requires financial planning. Everyone
Hmm.
would tell that basic things like you should have 2 years backup and all. leave it aside. Just find yourself in family that someone is earning, you can do trading, okay? Or your someone should be earning rather than you, okay? And just make him believe that give us at least 6 month time to prove ourselves. And before that 6 month time, you should do sincere paper trading. Be sincere to yourself. This is
Right.
a real life examination. No one is going to ask you question. Everyone is going to ask you question only after either losing money or winning money. In between that, no one is going to ask you what you did, how you did. Just be sincere to yourself. Do paper trading. Don't be over analysis, that analysis paralysis, that I would have done this, done that. Because when real money comes, emotion comes, and you are bound to do a lot of wrong things. And it's okay. It's very okay to be wrong. I myself tell you, I make at least 10 to 20,000, 30,000 losses every day. But the part is I recover it.
If we keep the money aside, being consistent in markets is probably one of the greatest things that a person can have, because as you know
Yeah.
that less than 1% people are actually consistent in markets, and you are in that
Now
list.
you have highlighted a very major point, okay? That
Right.
I forgot to add in previous, as I told you, consistency. The word is so much of pressure now currently for traders. Everyone, you know what works in market. Current trend, what is going on Twitter, na, everything to opposite that will work. I will tell you this bluntly. If everyone is talking about being consistent, na,
Right.
then being consistent would be the most difficult part. Not trading, but being consistent.
Right.
Because so much things are going on Twitter world. Like 20,000 is no value only. People are
Right.
talking in lakhs. We are like pennies in front of them. Okay,
Right. Right.
we are nothing. So don't put yourself under pressure. And this is for you also and for me also. We can't earn money each day.
Right.
Okay, what
Absolutely.
we can do is sit 9:15 till 3:30, take good trade, manage risk, and at the end of day, if you are sticking to process, you will get something fruitful. But if
So
you are
true.
full
So
of
true.
emotions, okay,
So
if
true.
you are full of
Right.
emotions, market will show you the real side. And how do I overcome such things? I simply put one YouTube live channel of Z Business or say CNBC, and I don't look at them and say to myself, you tell whatever you want. I'm just posting you to tell that I am master of myself.
Right.
I will just take trades as per my setup only. You tell buy this, buy that. I don't listen only. I just, that is called tricking your mind. You have to trick yourself. Everyone has developed some edge. That edge can be entry. Someone can be a very pro exit. Options
Right.
behave very differently. Means there is another 2 hours discussion. It will go for options behavior, options volatility.
Absolutely. We,
So
we
don't
we
put the
can we can come up for second
yeah.
podcast for that one. A
So
good
for my
idea for
newbies,
yes.
this would be the recommendation. Don't put the pressure of the word consistent.
Hmm.
Being non-consistent makes us human. Okay,
Right.
just be consistent enough to come and sit and trade each day and be sincere to yourself. But
Hmm.
just being consistent in that thing. The day you
Hmm.
lose market, now I would tell you one thing. In 2017, I guess in
Hmm.
17, 18, I was in markets, but
Hmm.
I got one severe disease. I was one
Okay.
year away from markets.
Hmm.
Still, I got back into markets and I did what I did, and now I am here. Okay.
Hmm.
So there were n number of reasons for me to leave the markets, but I exactly did the reverse.
Right. Right.
So
Hmm.
market
Hmm.
first tests your patience a lot.
Hmm. It tests whether you are made for the market or not.
Yes, every day
Hmm.
it would do that. Okay.
So basically, trust your process, focus on the process, and be consistent with the process, and you can ignore everything else.
Yes, yes. What you say, option buying is the most difficult task in the market currently
Absolutely.
because everything is against you.
Hmm. It always has been, isn't it?
Yes, because
Brokerage has to be
options are not the product for trading.
right.
Their purpose was very different.
Yeah, they were made for hedging purposes, and then people started trading it. That's how we got into
Mm.
options trading. Absolutely.
Yes.
Very great answers, and thank you so much for your time, Mayur. This was a great learning for me as well as the people who are watching this podcast. I'm pretty sure people who watched to the end are going to learn a lot from this, and hopefully they will apply it in practical markets as well, execute it practically, and try to get benefits out of it. Thank you so much for coming on to this channel. Thank you so much for guiding us. Thank you so much for giving us your time and energy. I
It,
hope to see you
it
soon
was
on
my
this
pleasure
channel.
actually. I could have go like I'm a very talkative person if like it goes on like this. Okay, because we get a good response. We can do another podcast also on options volatility behavior, how
Right,
actually
absolutely,
options behave.
absolutely.
Okay, so it was my
Sure,
pleasure.
we can. Sure,
Thank
sure,
you
we
from
can.
your side also.
Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Thank you, Mayur. Thank you.
Okay, so bye.
Bye.
If you like this video, then make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, because I keep coming back with such videos that revolve around trading, trading psychology, trading consistency, trading success. Everything that you need to know about trading you will find on this channel. So make sure to subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Until then, you guys take care. Bye bye. Peace out.